As we age, it's critical that we exercise. Not all exercise is the same. In this video, I'll share with you the 3 kinds of exercise that are proven to optimize your fitness and reduce your risk of falls, which is a major health concern for people over 65. Stay tuned to the end where I will share the single best exercise of all, plus an extra nutrition tip that will help you get the most out of every exercise session. If you are just 65 and healthy, you may wonder what the concern is. However, as someone who has worked in the senior care area for over a decade, it is one of my greatest concerns for my clients and myself personally. We fall, break a hip, and it can be very hard to ever recover our quality of life. A good exercise plan, however, helps our body stay strong and healthy, so we avoid falls in the first place. And if we do fall, it will minimize our risk of serious injury that could occur if our bodies were frail. And this is backed up by a ton of research. In this study, for example, researchers studied more than 900 older adults. They concluded that with a 6-month exercise program, there was a 14.3% reduction in falls. But some falls are minor. You get back up and keep going. The ones you really need to watch out for are the ones that lead to serious injury. And after the 6-month program, they found that there was a 41% reduction in falls that led to severe injury and pain. And there are many other studies, such as these, which corroborate the value of exercise. A concern I see among my older clients is that they think that they are too old to exercise. Either they believe that their existing aches and pains keep them from engaging in physical activity, or they believe that past a certain age, there simply are few benefits to working out. This is also something that has been studied, and the evidence shows that exercise is great for you at any stage of life. This study looked at the impacts of resistance training on adults aged 50 to 75 years, and also an older group of more frail individuals from 80 to 100 years of age. They found what they called compelling evidence that resistance training in all age groups has a positive impact on muscle growth and function. And this one also looked at 2 groups of adults, one 65 to 75 years old and a second group 85 and older. Once more, they concluded that resistance exercise will increase muscle mass, strength, and physical performance at any age, and that there's no difference in benefit between younger and older groups. And as a corollary to this notion that we are never too old to exercise, here's one more study that establishes we should never stop exercising. This one looked at folks who worked out for 6 months and then stopped. It confirmed that when we stop exercising, we lose muscle mass, and the gains we realized are only partly preserved a year later. Maybe this is common sense, but if you're like me and are closer to 70 than you are to 60, the notion that we need to use it or lose it has never been more true. So what are the best exercises we can do? Everyone is different. Our bodies are different. We play different sports as kids. We have different injuries. We all have imbalances where certain muscle groups are stronger or weaker. So rather than give you specific exercises, I want to share with you the 3 types of exercise you should incorporate into your regular routine. A huge meta-analysis looked at what exercises best help you reduce the risk of falls. They looked at 23,000 people, all over 60 with an average age of 76 years. And the researchers concluded that the 3 best types of exercises for fall prevention: balance exercises, functional exercises, and resistance exercises. And they found that the best results come from combining all 3. I'll share how much each exercise helps reduce falls, but first let's go over what each type of exercise is. There are many different balance exercises you can do. Actually, nearly any activity that keeps you on your feet and moving, such as walking, helps your balance. But there are tons of specific exercises that will help improve your stability. One example is to practice balancing on one foot for several seconds at a time. And if your balance is good, you can add in more complex movements. But it could be as simple as standing on one foot while you brush your teeth. Do 30 seconds on one foot and 30 seconds on the other. Tai Chi is an awesome form of exercise that also will improve your balance and stability. Functional exercises mimic actual life tasks. Perhaps one of the most common ones is the sit to stand exercise. First, because it replicates an action that is critical to daily living. We get it from tables, chairs, beds, toilets, several times a day. The sit to stand is a great exercise because it engages our legs and helps our balance, and these two things are critical to help us avoid falls. Another great functional exercise is called the farmer's walk, where you carry fairly heavy weights in both hands as you walk. The farmer's walk strengthens our legs, our shoulders, and our grip, and of course mimics the everyday task of carrying heavy items like suitcases or bags of groceries. And then resistance training is when we challenge our muscles with resistance. It can be with exercise bands or weights at the gym. The important thing to keep in mind is that each one of these exercises trains different functionality in our bodies, and the combination of all three will give us the best protection against falls. So these were the study findings. Balance exercise on its own helped reduce falls by 19%. And when people included both balance and functional exercise training, they reduced falls by 24%. And finally, when all three forms were practiced, balance, functional exercise, and resistance training, the rate of falls fell by 34%. But what is the single best exercise we all can do? The answer to this question in some ways is obvious. It is the exercise that we will do regularly and make a part of our regular routine. You'll find a lot of people on YouTube saying that this or that is the best single exercise for people over 65. I think that this is a misleading premise. The so-called best exercise is useless if you don't do it, don't enjoy it, and if it doesn't address a physical need you have. I see this with my clients. They go to physical therapy and are given a list of exercises. But doing exercise like it's homework is rarely fun, and it can be burdensome to include into a daily routine. Often they need prodding to do it, so they don't do it, and their physical capabilities deteriorate. As we enter the latter third of our lives, I think the greatest hazard we face is that our last decade could become a lost decade. And this refers to the notion that our quality of life in our final 10 years of life is just not great. And many times this happens because we fall. Modern medicine has helped us survive things like cancer, diabetes, heart attacks, and many other causes of death. But if we are frail, fall, and get injured, often there is no easy cure. So your ideal exercise should address what it is you want to do in your last decade. Is it a goal to get down on your hands and knees with your grandkids? Maybe you want to travel and just be able to handle your own suitcases. The best exercises are the ones that address your current deficiencies and help you get to that goal. There are tons of experts on the internet, and these are great starting points. But always check with your doctor before starting any exercise program. And if you can afford it, also work with a physical therapist or a movement exercise professional. They can help spot the imbalances that might be holding you back. Again, we are all different, and our bodies are the products of how we have moved or haven't for over 6 decades. I experienced this personally. My wife and I have exercised all our lives, but her balance is awesome and mine stinks. I went to a physical therapist, and he helped me identify weaknesses that I have in my leg muscle that hold back my balance. So to sum up, we should all exercise. In our later decades, one of the greatest threats we face to our quality of life is a fall with serious injury. The best exercise for fall reduction combines the 3 elements of balance, functional training, and resistance training. All exercise is good, but the best exercise program will help you reach your long-term fitness goals and will be something you enjoy doing. And what's the secret nutrition tip to get even more out of exercise? It's protein. It is essential to build muscle, and when you're over 65, it's even more critical. We need more protein as we get older because our body's ability to use it and convert it into muscle declines. So both the quantity and quality of protein matters a lot. In particular, it's critical to include the right amounts of the amino acid leucine in our diets. See my next video here that delves into the specifics, again backed by research, explaining the types, amounts, and timing of protein that we need to get the most out of our exercise routine. Thank you for watching, and please check out other videos in my channel, all devoted to helping you provide the best care for yourself and your loved ones.